Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for making it here in the rain. When I saw it was raining, I thought we might be here by ourselves. But, well, it worked out well. Tonight, we'll start off as usual with our call to order, our flag salute, and then we're going to have some announcements. And in the announcements, I'm really going to just really go through 4 little issues, and I promise only 1 slide per issue because we want to get going and get to our special guests. We have with us Sheriff Commander John Benedict and, of course, our Captain Roosevelt Johnson, who's been here before, so I'm sure most of you know him. Then we're going to have some El Nino driving tips from the Highway Patrol. And it's very apropos that you come tonight because it's raining. I don't know how you arrange that, but it works really good. All right. Then Bill Reynolds is here to real quickly talk about his Veterans Memorial proposal, and hopefully we're going to see that go through soon. We're going to get an update on the Chiquita landfill by Mr. Lee, and also Lynn Planbeck is supposed to be here to give us a talk on the consolidation of our 2 water companies. So we'll see what happens. Lastly, real quick, we'll go through County Country Advisory Committee officer nominations. It's that time of the year. I can't believe we did this just last year. Then our version of public participation, which is the first 5 people that want to speak for 1 minute. A preview of the next meeting, and we'll adjourn promptly at 9 o'clock. Normally, as you know, I go through and I look for somebody to talk about before the flag salute. In this case, I just wanted to mention Dick Jeffrey. And Dick suffered a heart attack. He's in Henry Mayo, and hopefully he's doing better. I saw on the internet that he's conscious, and he's being responsive, and he'll probably be off his ventilator. But, you know, there's nothing more important than your health. And whenever something goes wrong like this, it just brings it home how insignificant some of the other things seem to be. But Dick is a veteran. He's a Vietnam veteran, and he's been instrumental in helping in some of the Veterans Affairs out here in Santa Clarita, so I thought it was appropriate just to let you know how he was doing tonight. So with that, Captain Johnson, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. For announcements, I just want to go through 4 things. There's 1 slide per. This is really the quick. This is the quick version, so we can get going. You know, we talked about medians. We know we talked about the median conditions are deteriorating. Those are funded by Landscape Maintenance District 2008-1, which you get to joyfully pay on your property tax bill every year. In December of 2013, the City Council approved $500,000 for 4 contractors to monitor the contractors that were doing the landscape maintenance work. Really great. So on January the 4th, I put in a public records request for to monitor the contractors' work products. And from January the 4th until today, they keep putting it off. I haven't got any answer. Now, I think it's amazing because if they were supposed to be putting in electronic requests for every one of the problems they found, and I would have thought that it would have taken an IT person at least a half an hour to write the SQL to drag that all off the computer, but we'll see. By next month, we'll be talking about it one way or the other, and you know what? If we're not getting anything for $500,000, we'll make sure to make that known. As far as the Newhall redevelopment is concerned, I'm sure most of you know that the Laemmle project was approved by the council. Cost of the city is going to be $3.4 million in direct subsidy and a potential of $5.2 million for a parking structure. $15.2 million for a parking structure. This all revolves around the fact that the redevelopment agencies are no longer in existence and the funding source is no longer available to Santa Clarita. So the Old Town Newhall specific plan is outdated, and not only the plan but the zoning, because if it stays the way it is, the city is going to be paying for subsidizing parking for every business that opens on Main Street. So if you've got a business you want to open on Main Street and get a really good subsidy, well, I suggest you do it right away. But for the rest of us who don't believe that's the right thing to do, we'd like to see those kind of things changed. And also, I just wanted you to know, next month we'll go through the plan itself, but the question keeps getting asked, and the plan does call for paid parking and restricted parking in residential areas in Newhall. So we don't know when that's going to occur. The County Parks District, the County Parks District was proposed in 2014. It was Proposition P. It failed. So in anticipation of another district, another initiative to form a district, the county spent $3.4 million to conduct a needs assessment of parks and recreation facilities in the unincorporated county. And they were also going to do that within the cities, but only 80% of the cities responded that they wanted to have it done. Santa Clarita was one of the 20 that said, no, we don't need it because we already know what everybody wants. So I thought it was interesting because if you look at the survey that the city did in 2014, in December of 2014, you would have seen that the number one thing all around the city of what people wanted were more parks, updated parks, and more unique things for their for youth to be able to do. So Santa Clarita chose not to participate. I've talked to the county, and I said, well, why can't you at least come out here and give us an informational meeting and tell us exactly what this is going to be about? Because otherwise, you're going to put another initiative on the ballot. Someone's going to see this is for county parks. We don't have any county parks, so they're just going to vote no. So if you want us to support this, you have to tell us about it. So far, the county has declined to meet with city residents, and we'll keep you updated on that too. On the new sheriff station, and we can ask some questions about that because we have a sheriff here. On the new sheriff station, Ken Striplin did respond to my January 13th email that we talked about last month, and he referenced the information in the Signal article. So what is being proposed, as opposed to is a new station, as opposed to another station. And in that case, they're talking about locating it on Golden Valley Road on the east side of the valley, with a second station possibly up the old road by Highway 126. And my question is, doesn't this create the same problem on the west side that the east side is currently facing, in the fact that every time something happens right now on the east side, you've got to transport everybody to the west side, take all that time and come back. And knowing what traffic is like here in Santa Clarita, that takes a fair amount. And then the question is going to be, who funds this project? Since we're a contract city, does the county fund it? Or does the city fund it? Or is it mutual? But no one's telling us yet. So those are the things that we'll talk about later in subsequent meetings. As far as the City Council election forum that we talked about last month, it is scheduled for August the 17th, 2016. We did send out the invitation letters as we said we would. I actually hand-carried them from Mr. Drew and gave them to Mr. Keller and Mr. Boyson at the last City Council meeting. Boyson is confirmed, I've confirmed, and we're waiting for Keller. But we'll keep you posted on what happens, and if anybody else decides they're going to run that too. By the way, we do have in the audience another candidate here, just you ought to see what it's Von Hugo, and he's running for the state senate. Oh, I'm sorry. The federal, yeah, the congressional, oh. I tell you what, we really feel honored now. Okay, good deal. Looking at our attendance statistics, well, they were about in normal or mid for what we had. But I was a little disappointed in the video statistics. It's not going to be hard to beat last month because it was probably the lowest number of views that we've ever had. But like I said, we keep track of this stuff, look at the spikes and so forth to see what you're really interested in. And hopefully, you know, even though we got rain, we got people, and hopefully we'll have a lot of people that will watch these videos because they'll be interested in them. We can skip this for tonight. We'll have another opportunity next month, so just think about who you would like for your 2016 group of officers. Do we have any public participants? No. I like that. That's good because we're really late. All right. For the next meeting, it's just funny that you should mention water, because I got a call from Maria Goodside just today, who said to me, has the staff, has the Newhall County Water staff reached out to you to come speak at your meeting? And I said, no, they have not. And she said, well, if they call and say they want to speak, will you allow it? And I said, of course I'll allow it, because I want to ask those questions. I went to that one water board meeting, and if you recall, and this is what I said, and this is the question I'm going to ask continually, that the 99% of customers, water customers in this valley, only care about three things. They want to make sure they have enough water when they turn the water spigot on. They want to make sure their coffee tastes good in the morning when they use it. And they're concerned about their bill. So you should be able to guarantee me, if you want to talk about consolidation and economy of scale, why I should see this drastic reduction in my water bill. And somehow I didn't hear that at the last meeting. So let's see what they have to say. And Lynn, you can come back next month also. Okay? Anyway, we'll talk about median management and why we spend $500,000 to have a company oversee the company that we hired to do the work. Because I got to tell you what, if they're going to do that the next time they offer these up, we're going to go bid on that job. And we'll talk about the Old Town Newhall specific plan, because it really is something that could cost the city a lot more money. If they can, what?
Hello, Al. I was wondering if this consolidation is really a plot to take our groundwater to supply to the Newhall Ranch project? Isn't that what this is all about?
Well, that's very possible, because as I understand, the Newhall Ranch project is supposed to not use any state water.
That's what I heard.
So that's a possibility too. We ought to discuss that next month also. Let's put all the possibilities on the table. Okay? You know what? I'm not going to say yes or no. Let's just let it all come to the surface so we can all hear it. And I think the answer will be obvious.
I think so. Thank you very much.
Okay? Don't you agree?
I do agree.
Okay. So we'll talk about the Old Town Newhall specific plan, because I think if they keep going in the way they're going, it's going to cost us another $30 to $40 million in subsidies. And then we'll go through officer nominations. We have elections in April. So coming out in the rain, doing all those wonderful things, hearing all of these great presentations, I want to thank you very much for choosing to attend the Canyon Country Advisory Committee, and hopefully next month we'll have a bright, shiny day for you. Thank you.